Good morning, everyone. Thanks for coming. We are here today to announce a large-scale gang sweep featuring 2 indictments, charging a total of 28 gang members and associates with over 190 charges. The 2 indictments charge alleged members and associates of the 9 Trey Bloods as well as the Balla family, which is a subset of the Bloods gang. Both of those gangs are alleged to have operated long-term criminal conspiracies which involved 19 shootings across Suffolk County, possession of illegal firearms, some of which you see on the table here, 3 armed robberies, narcotic sales, and they're also charged with grand larceny for a theft of a motor vehicle which was used in 2 drive-by shootings. After we discuss the charges in this gang sweep, we also want to talk about the tangible result of all of us here as partners working vigorously together to target gang and gun violence in our communities and what specifically that means for public safety. So again, thanks to our partners, all of whom, or some of whom, are standing with me. We're going to provide you with some statistics that show that a oriented and focused and aggressive approach to gang and gun violence has tangible results. Now, before I discuss all of that, I just want to introduce our partners, all of whom made this possible. First and foremost, we want to I want to acknowledge our Suffolk County Sheriff, Errol Toulon, and his team. We want to thank Sheriff Toulon for his assistance in this case, as well as his assistance in many other cases as well. We also have our Suffolk County Police Department, of course, as always, where the Suffolk County Police Department is represented by Commissioner Kevin Catalina, Detective Rowley from the Gun Reduction Unit, Detective Manning from the Suffolk County PD Intelligence Section. Detective Manning's not here, but we wanted to acknowledge him in his section. We also have Detective Sergeant Reardon from G-Crew. We want to really thank G-Crew in this case. They did an excellent job. They've really, since I took office in 2022, I think G-Crew has come from, a new unit that was being conceptualized to a really, really effective partners. And again, we want to thank Suffolk County PD and G-Crew. We also want to thank their intelligence section. That's why I acknowledge Detective Manning. Since the very first day of our office, we've worked great with Intel in Suffolk County PD. They work great with our people, our ADAs, our detectives, and it's paying dividends, so we want to certainly thank them. Also here is our Eastern District of New York, the United States Marshal's Office. U.S. Marshal Vincent DeMarco is here. Marshal DeMarco, I've said it a million times, so I'll say it again. Marshal DeMarco and his team, they never seek acknowledgement. All they want to do is they want to participate and they want to help further your investigation, your case, and that's what they do each and every time we ask them to help us. And they never ask anything of us. They just participate and they assist. So we certainly want to thank United States Marshal DeMarco for his assistance. With him is Supervisory Deputy U.S. Marshal Adam McKay, Chief Deputy U.S. Marshal Bud Spellman. Again, when I was a federal prosecutor, I worked with these guys, and they're great, and I want to thank them. We don't thank them enough. Our Riverhead Police Department, we have Chief Ed Frost. We enjoy a great relationship with our East End partners. And since Ed Frost has become the chief of Riverhead, that has only increased, and so we want to thank Ed for his help and his agency's help. We also have with us the United States Department of Corrections. We have Assistant Deputy Chief Investigator John Cavalcanti. He can't be here, but he certainly assisted us in this endeavor, so we want to thank him. With us from the Department of Corrections is Senior Investigator Brian Rogers and Investigator Adam Zacher. And again, New York State Corrections, their investigations unit, whenever we ask them to assist us, they also do a great job. So we want to thank them in this and many other cases. I also, which I oftentimes don't do, I want to thank my office. We have our VCE Chief James Slattery, our Deputy Bureau Chief Vanessa Overland. We want to thank them. And we have a slew of ADAs who've been doing great work. We have Mary Skyber, we have Martha Duffy, we have Melissa Bliss, we have Bill Richards, we have Donald Barkley, we have Megan Powers. All of those ADAs, along with their supervisory staff, has done a great job in this case. Again, we're going to talk a little bit about our initiatives and our investigations. Those are the boots on the ground. They do a fantastic job. We also want to thank our own fine detective investigators, Detective Investigator Gene Graff, who is a stalwart, as well as Special Investigator Mike Algieri. And we can't have success without our great investigators as well. So thanks to all. Now, having said all of that, the two indictments I want to discuss today are separate cases, but they share two common elements. The first one is unacceptable gang violence, which is committed by alleged gang members shooting at rivals or other specific individuals. But as in this case, as in all our cases, we don't just charge the shooters. We charge everyone involved in the operation, including those who ordered the violence, funded the violence, acquired the weapons, the shooters themselves, and those who attempted to cover up the shootings after the fact. And again, by doing this root and stem approach, we want to effect comprehensive change in our communities and make them more safe. Now, of course, this being New York, we also have an instance where our state has released a previously convicted violent offender, felony offender and a drug dealer prior to the offender having served his full sentence. That defendant was released at the direction of the governor in order to address the alleged staffing crisis in New York State prisons. Despite this defendant actively planning two separate conspiracies to shoot victims while incarcerated and actually plotting to do so as he was about to be released. And obviously, this needs to change, but I sound like a broken record, I know. With regard to the 9-Trey indictment, that is the first indictment I want to discuss. We have 6 alleged members charged in that case. They are members and associates of the 9-Trey Bloods. The 9-Trey is a nationwide blood street gang set with a presence, unfortunately, here in Suffolk County. The indictment alleges that in a 2-week period in November of 2024, those defendants possessed 5 illegal firearms, 3 of those guns, which were recovered by law enforcement and are at the table to my right. Using those weapons, they shot 2 individuals, causing serious physical injury to both of those victims. The investigation revealed in this case that those shootings and the gun possessions were allegedly orchestrated by defendant Joseph Baker. Baker was incarcerated and serving a sentence in a New York State correctional facility at the time of this conspiracy, but was released early and prior to our taking the case down was released by the state. Baker allegedly ordered that his longtime rival be shot in both legs while Baker was in custody. He offered a $10,000 bounty to complete the shooting of the rival. Intermediaries, all of whom have been charged in the indictment, passed directions, obtained illegal firearms, and prepared for the shooting, and actually participated in 2 of the shootings. Specifically, it is alleged, as I said, that Baker is the leader and financier of this conspiracy. Lavelle Lieutenant and Isaac Smith were part of the team that was initially chosen to shoot Baker's rival. Thereafter, Lieutenant was arrested, and as a result of that, Ibn Turner and Amber Vasquez were another duo that were chosen to participate in the shooting of the rival, which resulted in the shooting of an innocent third party. Deshad Eubanks is also charged, and he's alleged to have been the individual who supplied the weapons for this conspiracy. Again, 5 weapons. On November 4th, the facts of the case are, on November 4th, 2024, the defendants, at the direction of Baker, allegedly began looking for the intended victim. On November 8th of 2024, while out looking, defendants Isaac Smith and Lavelle Lieutenant were allegedly pulled over in Huntington Station by the Suffolk County Police Department. After being pulled over, Lieutenant fled the car and avoided apprehension. Smith, however, was arrested and charged with the possession of a loaded 9mm caliber pistol with a high-capacity magazine, and that is the gun who's closest to me on my right. Thereafter, Smith was held in on bail and incarcerated while Lieutenant remained at large. Not to be deterred, 2 days later on November 10th, 2024, defendants Amber Vasquez and Deshad Eubanks went to a bar in Bellport looking for the intended victim. At the bar, Eubanks allegedly got into a fight with a patron and shot him in the chest in the parking lot as a result. That patron underwent emergency surgery, but fortunately survived. 2 days after that shooting, on November 12th, 2024, the intended victim, who was Baker's rival, was allegedly lured to a parking lot in Bellport by Vasquez and shot in both legs by Lieutenant, pursuant to Baker's directive and pursuant to the money, the $10,000 that Baker had put up. That victim underwent emergency surgery and again survived. 3 days after that, on November 15th, Baker allegedly paid a portion of the $10,000 bounty promised for shooting the victim. On the boards over there to my left is a photo from Lieutenant's phone and social media. There's a photo of Lieutenant allegedly counting his portion of the money for committing the shooting, as well as him possessing a gun. On the same day as the shooting, Smith was bailed out with the money that Baker had supplied, and Lieutenant and Smith celebrated Smith's release. And again, video from Lieutenant's phone showed him flashing a distinct brown pistol with a laser and 53 round drum clip attached. And again, that's on the board. That gun is also to my right. Thereafter, just 4 hours after the lieutenant took the video on his phone, members of the Suffolk County Police Department, who had been looking for him ever since he fled the scene of the initial vehicle stop, located Lieutenant and arrested him. Lieutenant fled the police and threw that same gun, which was recovered. And again, he was charged with the possession of that gun. Members of the Suffolk County Police Department arrested Lieutenant, and he has remained in custody since that day. A week later, on November 22nd, Smith was again arrested by the Suffolk County Police Department. So Smith was originally arrested in the stop, held in on bail. The shooting occurred. Baker paid the money. The money was paid for Smith to get out of jail, so he was released. And then we rearrested him and put him back in jail, where he remains to this day. On November 22nd, Smith was arrested and found in possession of the third gun at the table, the smaller gun. None of those three guns were used in the commission of the two shootings in this case. So in total, this conspiracy involved 5 separate guns, 3 of which have been recovered. Following all of these events, our team conducted a thorough and comprehensive investigation. The case was presented to the grand jury, and last week we filed this indictment and arrested all 6 of these defendants for their involvement in the conspiracy. As I mentioned, Baker was incarcerated when this conspiracy allegedly took place. Baker was scheduled to be released from prison in May of this year, but because he qualified for an early release program issued by Governor Hochul's commissioner of the New York State Department of Corrections Community Supervision, in March, that order was issued in March. A number of individuals were released early from prison, including Baker. Fortunately, last week, our investigators located Baker after he had been released from prison, and he is now back in prison as well. The second indictment in this case is the Balla family indictment, and that case was a part of a takedown that charged 22 alleged members and associates of the Balla family gang in a 168-count indictment for conduct dating back to January of 2021 and ending in April of 2025. The indictment charges 17 shootings. These shootings primarily centered in communities of Mastic Beach, Shirley, and Coram. And if you see the map, and those red areas are the areas where the shootings occurred. In addition to those 17 shootings, there were 3 armed robberies alleged, as well as the possession of 22 alleged firearms. 8 of those firearms are on the table to my left. In addition to that, the indictment charges 40 narcotic sales. 13 of these defendants are charged in a long-term conspiracy to commit murder against a rival gang, specifically the Bloodhound Brim gang. As you may recall, last February of 2024, we stood here and announced a 31 defendant indictment against members and associates of the Bloodhound Brims for their violence against the Balla family. So now we're standing here charging the other side of that conspiracy. So we have this tit-for-tat violence in Suffolk County, and we're charging both sides of that violence. These two indictments we're talking about today are the third and fourth indictments that the Violent Criminal Enterprise Bureau has brought against gang activity in Suffolk County alone this year. And again, I can tell you it's having an effect. In a minute, we're going to talk about the effects that investigation and prosecution of gang activity has meant to Suffolk County. Much of the violence charged in this indictment allegedly was the back and forth retaliation, again, between members of the Balla family as well as the Bloodhound Brims. And again, through these two indictments, that violence has been brought to an end, and we're certainly seeing its effects. The Balla family, much like the Bloodhound Brims, is a nationally recognized set of the nationwide blood street gang. Balla family has their own laws and oaths, and you see the board for some of the highlights which we've recovered. The rules of the gang require mandatory retaliation against anyone who hurts or disrespects gang members. They, of course, forbid cooperating with police or snitching in any way or cooperating with law enforcement in any way. And they are never to leave the gang. They are Balla family till death. Balla family, like other gangs, such as the Bloodhound Brims, has allegedly utilized younger gang members, some as young as 15, to commit the shootings. And again, these are sophisticated organizations. One of the unfortunate consequences of Raise the Age is it incentivizes these gang members to use young people to commit acts of violence because they can't face the same punishment as adult members of the gang. So these younger members are being utilized by the gang to commit these acts of violence. And again, this is something that is a fact, and we have to stop ignoring it. The younger members are all too ready to engage in these acts of violence to prove their loyalty to the gang, to rise up in the hierarchy of the gang, and to gain membership to the gang. Balla allegedly focused on narcotic sales and armed robberies as a way to raise money and finance gang activities. And again, on the boards to my left and behind me, we see some boards where members of Balla Brims are flashing money, guns, and showing their reputation for violence. Some of the notable charges in this indictment include in August of 2021, members of the gang engaged in a back and forth shooting with Bloodhound Brim members in vehicles in Patchogue in broad daylight. And that shooting resulted in a Bloodhound Brim car overturning and crashing into the Robo car wash on Main Street in Patchogue. You see the car inside the car wash upside down. And again, the potential for violence and injury to third parties is self-evident, and that's one of the many reasons why these cases are so important. In April of 2022, defendant and Balla family leader Jasmine Firon allegedly ordered a 15-year-old defendant to commit a broad daylight shooting outside a strip mall in Coram. That 15-year-old allegedly followed through on the order and just narrowly missed the intended victim's head. In July of 2023, the gang members allegedly stole a vehicle and used the vehicle to commit two drive-by shootings at rival gang members. In August of 2023, defendant Joel Estrella allegedly drove to Mastic to look for rival gang members and fired multiple shots at two teenagers, injuring both of them and also striking a nearby unoccupied residence. In September of 2023, the defendants committed two armed robberies, one outside a smoke shop in Middle Island and the other at the lotto drawer of a bodega in North Bayport, which resulted in the robbery of $7,000 in cash. In January of 2024, its alleged members shot at a vehicle in Ridge occupied by two Bloodhound Brim associates on the first night, and then the next night they went back and shot out a residence of a Bloodhound Brim member that next night. In November of 29, Black Friday, defendant Takedown Elting allegedly got into a fight with rival gang members at the crowded food court mall at Smith Haven Mall. During the fight, a loaded 9mm pistol fell from Elting's pants, and bystanders fortunately kicked the gun away from Elting and placed it in a secured location until police arrived. And we have that video to my right. I think we're going to play it now. So, you know, this supposed war is being waged on the streets and in the stores and residents of Suffolk County. The danger, not only to the gang members, but to innocent third parties, is self-apparent. And again, this is why we do what we do, and this is why these cases have a profound effect on public safety, because of the wanton violence that it is alleged that these gang members are committing on our streets. And speaking of that, you know, we came into office 3 years ago, and working with our law enforcement partners, on the first day, we established the Violent Criminal Enterprises Bureau, headed by Chief Slattery. We work with Chief Rich Zacharis, and Chief Zacharis is my chief investigator, and he, more than anyone else standing here today, myself included, is responsible for our success. Chief Zacharis, along with the sheriff, along with our Suffolk County PD, our state partners, our federal partners, they investigate every incidence of gang violence here in Suffolk County. And we do it in a comprehensive manner, and we do it with the view towards prosecuting and holding people responsible for that which they do. So what is the result of all of that? Well, when you take a comprehensive look at our long-term investigations, and when you look at all of our gang incidents and all of our indictments, the results of that is Suffolk County is demonstratively more safe because of the efforts of our gangs, our gang unit, and our gang investigators and our partners. So if you look at the chart all the way to my far left, you have 2021, the year prior to me taking office, and then last year, right? So in 2021, the year before I took office, there were 280 shootings in Suffolk County. Of those 280 shootings, 84 individuals were shot. Someone was either wounded or killed. Now, every year, if you follow the charts down, every year of our administration, we've had a reduction of shootings, and that ended in 2024. So last year, we went from 280 shootings in 2021 to 90 shootings last year, and of 84 individuals who were shot and killed in 2021, in 2024, we had 26 individuals who were either shot or killed. So obviously, one shooting is too many. One person injured or killed is too many. But over the 3 years of our administration, we have now had 68% fewer shootings and 69% fewer people shot. And again, that is a result of all the hard work of the people who are standing next to me. These are just not numbers. These are not just percentages. Each one of those represents an individual who was not shot and not killed because of the efforts of these people standing with me. So I want to thank them again. This approach and our help from our partners has made Suffolk County demonstratively safer. And again, I want to thank our partners for that. We promised a comprehensive approach to gang violence, and that's what we've done. We will not tolerate gang or gun violence in Suffolk County. If gang or gun violence is committed in Suffolk County, we will work with our partners to arrest, investigate, and prosecute and hold responsible anyone who participates in that gang violence, whether they plan it, whether they supply the weapons, or they do the shooting. Having said that, we need help from our governor and our legislature with regard to our laws. We will continue nonetheless, but we're calling upon them to assist us with some common sense changes to our law. But nonetheless, anyone out there who's involved in the chain of command or involved in this cycle of violence should be put on notice that if you commit those acts of violence in Suffolk County, we will hold you responsible. So now I just want to I want to thank everybody for coming, and I want to turn it over. We'll start with our excellent, our Police Commissioner, Kevin Catalina. Thanks again.
Good morning, and thank you, District Attorney Tierney, and I want to thank all of our other partners as well, Sheriff Turan, U.S. Marshal Vinny DeMarco, and all of the rest of our partners. And I especially want to thank, from my team, our G Crew members who do an amazing, amazing job, and our intelligence team as well that really participated in both of these cases too. And as District Attorney Tierney said, the dramatic drop in shooting violence is a direct result of this approach to gang violence. This getting a team together and attacking it from every angle is the formula that works. District Attorney Tierney also mentioned Rich Zacharis, who's the chief investigator in the DA's office. He's really the architect of this and really has done an amazing job, so we can't thank Rich enough. These cases make Suffolk County safer. The decrease in shooting violence is obvious, and what that does for us in the police department is allows us to focus on other things when we don't have to chase these idiots around all the time because they're incarcerated. So it really benefits Suffolk County in so many ways. It makes it safer on that level because we're not experiencing the violence, and again, we can put our people in other places. So I want to thank everybody involved, and I appreciate all the hard work.
Sheriff Toulon.
Good morning. I'd like to thank District Attorney Ray Tierney and his office, Police Commissioner Kevin Catalina, U.S. Marshal Vincent DeMarco, and all of the other key stakeholders that are here today regarding this operation. You know, these operations show how critical it is for interagency cooperation and collaboration in taking down violent street crews and gangs in our communities. They are powerful examples of how intelligence that's gathered inside of our correctional agencies, both of our facilities, can play a crucial role in taking dangerous individuals down off of our streets. And I really want to commend the men and women who work in our Corrections Intelligence Center. The 9 Trey Bloods and the Mac Balla family and associates are all dangerous gang members and have no place in Suffolk County. Let these arrests send a message. If you bring violence and drugs to our communities, we will find you, we will dismantle your network piece by piece. Thank you.
U.S. Marshal DeMarco, I believe, is going to say some words. Thanks, Ben.
The United States Marshal Service, at the direction of the Attorney General, continues to prioritize assisting our state and local officials in taking violent criminals off the street. I was the sheriff here in Suffolk County, and I wish we had a district attorney like Ray Tierney when I was the sheriff, who can bring together law enforcement like this and cooperate, collaborate, and share information. It's truly amazing, and you deserve a lot of credit for that, Ray. I know it's not easy. The toughest gang around wears the badge. Street gangs may run blocks, but this gang here behind me runs the county. And I hope these gangs get the message that the badge is the toughest gang around, because we play by the rules and we still win. We roll deep, we don't back down, and we have the law on our side. And again, congratulations to all the prosecutors and investigators who worked on this. They're the ones that do all the hard work. And to the leadership of Ray Tierney, Commissioner Catalina, Sheriff Toulon, Deputy Commissioner Groneman, and my academy classmate, Chief Ed Frost, who I haven't seen in a while. But thank you. Congratulations.
Thanks to those partners. Thanks to New York State Department of Corrections, their investigations unit, for their help. Thanks to all of you for coming. Does anyone have any questions?